Orleans Talk Network, it's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Good morning. It's a good, as Pastor would say, it's a good day to be alive. Even though it's raining, it's been raining for almost 2 weeks. The rain has its purpose, and I'm glad to be here. Hostage said, "Fight back." In the absence of my co-host, Dr. Jones, I'm soloing this morning, and I just want you to know that it's a blessing and it's a privilege to be here to speak about some concerns that we have in our community. You can hit us on Instagram. We want you to know that we care, we love you, and we need all the people to coming together in this community, black, white, rich, or poor, this gumbo. And we don't want this gumbo to sprawl. We have solutions, and we want to hear from you. You know, I wanted to say that I spoke to the superintendent of police in New Orleans, and I told him that I found out that they were putting the summer curfew into effect, and he asked me what I think about it, and I said that was a great thing because. There's many family members, families, should I say, that don't have the ability to raise a child or to teach a child what they need and they need some help. So, there's a lot going on. In Central City, about 2 weeks ago, there were 6 people shot, and 3 of them were youngsters. They were not the intended target, but they were shot. An 11-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 14-year-old were shot. And I know that in my community, I'm sadly to say that I see 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds out in the streets. Many times they their mothers, I don't know where the mother's at. Some of the mothers watching TV or they're playing cards or some other activity, but they're not being supervised. So, I think that the summer curfew is a good thing. And for the listening audience benefit, I want to say, too, what's the time? It's in effect as we speak. It's from Monday till Thursday, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's from 16 on down. Youngsters, after 9 p.m., if you're out, you have to have a parent, you have to, supervise with a parent or some guardian. But we also have from Friday to Sunday, the curfew is, and I thought it should have been a little earlier, but it's 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. So that again, that curfew is in effect in New Orleans Parish. It's 16 on down, Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Fridays till Sunday is 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. And also for the listening audience benefit, that if a child is caught violating the curfew 3 consecutive times this summer, the parent will be given a citation and go before the juvenile judges. I think that's a good thing because the juvenile judges know how important parental guidance and supervision is, and some of those parents are going to find themselves doing community service or taking parenting classes, and in which I think that from what I've seen, the evidence that there are a lot of parents, there are a number of parents that need to have these classes to be instructed to how to they want to be their children's friends and partners, and they don't want the responsibility. But children didn't actually come here. But with all that said, yesterday I went to a memorial in the rain about 7 o'clock in the 3900 block of Tulane Avenue. It was a rental club that the shooting happened last Saturday, where the shooting, where the St. Aug graduate was killed, the football player, and it was a sad situation that I think that the community as a whole have taken I don't know that we really got numb to these violent acts, but about 2 blocks from the memorial that we had, there was some white business people that were meeting with the police. They're concerned about what's going on now. Let me say this: there's still a perpetrator out there that killed this young man, and I'm not looking for him to turn himself in. He probably don't think he did anything wrong, but there's a $5,000 reward for Crime Stoppers, and we need to get this guy off the street because killing once, it's been shown that you kill once, they kill again. What I wanted to talk about this morning was about, and I offer open the lines up for us to call 504-341-8255. 504-341-8255. And I wanted to know, what do you think about some of the things that's happening, just your opinion of what's going on in our community, how we can make it better, what's the problems, you know the problems, or what's the solution. Um, I'm gonna dip into, and I'm jumping from subject to subject. The other day I was in a restaurant, and I'm not gonna say the name. And my wife and I saw the families. It's a little girl, she's about 9 years old, and a boy, maybe the husband and the mother, and they were in this restaurant, and they were all had their laptops and their cell phones, and they wasn't talking. Everybody was pretty much occupied with the phone or the laptop. They were doing their own thing. And my wife said, "Look at that, Al. What you think about that?" And I was like, "Where's the family time? Where's the quality time? Where's the special time to talk about what have you done, son? What have you done, daughter?" I guess we done got so into the phone thing. I look at people when I'm driving, and I know there's laws, and everybody's either on the phone, or they getting on the phone, or getting off the phone, and you can't do all that, and I see why the accidents I see why there's distraction. I see people driving with the poor babies. They have 3 and 4 babies in the back seat. They're not restrained. They're not in seat belts. Um, the people going to restaurants and leaving the children in the car. I don't know. It I don't know. Is it just me, or is it just that we don't care? We don't care about one another. Um, our actions show it. I tell people all the time that every white man in my and every black man in my brother, but I'm disappointed in what I see in my community. There was a guy tell me the other day. He said, "Brother Mims, I heard you complaining about the shootings that are going on in our community, but you got to understand, brother, it's the hood, and that's just the way it is." And he's about 50 years old. And I said, "Wait a minute, man, this ain't no hood. This is a neighborhood, and those are people. They're somebody's child, somebody's loved one." And it's almost like it was a done deal. It was no compassion, no love, And I wondered, how if he have children, does he ever tell his son, or do he ever tell his daughter that I'm proud of you, I love you, I care for you? I would love to hear from our listening audience. You can call me at 504 341 8255. 504 341 8255. We are discussing, talking about the curfew and some of the other things that going on in our community. You pick a topic. You pick a solution. If you give me a problem or you talk about a problem, you have to have a solution to it. You may not like the solution because that means that you have to do something, and that means action. And I hear a lot of my community, my people speak about prayer. They say, Brother Mim, I pray. But I'm going to give you another twist to that. I want to put some legs on those prayers, and I think prayer is an action. That we need to do something, we need to do more. A lot of times, we don't have to pray for what we need to do because it's right there in front of our face. Evil doing what evil does, and we talking about, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that. But I like to take this time first to say that after the break, this first break, we're going to come back, and I'd like to hear from our listening audience, 504 341 8255. We'll be back in a few.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Hey, what's up, readers and shakers? It's time for a new horizon in literary talk. Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions is a literary lounge for readers who want to make informed decisions on how they spend their reading dollars. Each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, authors will join us in the lounge for real talk with real readers. Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. This is the place to be for the best in literary conversation. See you there.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 70072. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Join in on Mondays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. for Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry. There are no limitations or boundaries. We talk about life, and guess what? That includes you. So download the app today, New Orleans Talk Network, and subscribe on YouTube. That's every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. New Orleans Talk Network, Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot, and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
There's soul food, and then there's food for the soul. At a time where we live to eat, the Praline Connection restaurant serves up recipes that reach back into days long gone. You know, the kind of meals your mama cooked up for Sunday dinner. Fried chicken with macaroni and cheese and candied yams, homemade meatloaf with garlic mashed potatoes and string beans, or Nolan's filet gumbo. That's the real soul you get only at the Praline Connection restaurant, located at the corner of Charters and Frenchman Street in the Marinade.
NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Good morning. This is Brother Al Mims, and coming back to you, Houses That Fight Back. And I have a surprise guest, and he's a true blessed. We got Tarek in the building.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
How you doing, my brother?
Always a great day to be alive, brother.
I'm not the Lone Ranger now.
Nah, man, I came in the studio. I said, let me go on over there with Brother Mims right quick and, join the show today. It was a terrible weekend in the city. I know it touched a lot of people to turn on the news and see all the violent acts we had happen throughout the week. All the great people we lost throughout the weekend. Young man.
Potentials, man.
From St. Aug, honor student. Whole family has been destroyed.
Yes.
I mean, people are crying. Their hearts are broken for this young man that lost his life senselessly. And we got to do something about the crime in the city of New Orleans. It starts in the communities. It starts in our homes with properly teaching your children how to interact with police. So when they grow up and become young men and women in our society, they know exactly what to do and what not to do for their communities. And
Brother Cherry, let me tell you something. You just wrapped it up just now.
Yeah.
But everybody don't want to hear that.
Oh, that was quick then, huh? Too bad everybody can't think like that. They had this huge meeting about what happened Saturday night in the 1st District, and, everyone in the community who cared about what was going on, it came out, it made the news. You've seen a lot of temperatures flare up, but I thought the chief made a great point, and he said that it's a culture of violence in the city of New Orleans. And we have this culture of violence in the city of New Orleans has been around way before blacks was even free.
It ain't no big thing. It's like nothing,
I think it's the race has changed, and it's the black community doing the violence in the city of New Orleans, but it wasn't always the black community committing crimes in the city of New Orleans. It's just recently turned to be that way for the last 2, maybe 3 generations, but crime has always existed in the city of New Orleans. It's always been a crime-infested area in America, and that hasn't changed up until date.
No,
It's
no.
the only thing that's changed is the people that's committing the crimes.
And we still the majority of the victims.
Yes, yes.
You know,
And for the African American community, I think the crimes that's being committed against our own race is something that's systemic, but also is something that's been tolerated by our community. The last time I was on the show, I spoke about that.
I like that word you said, tolerated. That means they have a choice, right?
Yes, they definitely got a choice, brother Mims. In the situation, these things in our community we allow to happen on a daily basis have caused a plague in our community. And then up until we start eliminating the little things, we cannot affect the big things, you know.
And let me say this to you, my brother. What I see, they got some men sitting around, and I'm not saying some of them retired and they don't offer their services, volunteer for nothing. They sit on their behind and they see things going on. They're not gonna intervene or nothing. What's going on, bro?
I think people are more afraid of what can happen to them instead of being more proud about what they can prevent. Just because you see something don't mean you should turn a blind eye to it. The little things we turn blind eyes to could become big things and affect our community in major ways. We all have this pride level to where the street code that we had. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it started. But there's levels to the street code, and it's even embedded in our kids. It's from elementary. Even parents, I hear parents telling their kids all the time, "Stop being a telltale. Stop being a little snitch." You're putting something in your children's mind, so when they become young adults, that's what they was taught as children, what not to be instead of what to be. And it starts at home, brother Mims. What can we do outside of change the way we raise our children?
Well, I think that action speaks louder than words. You know, let me say this. I lost my father to homicide September 1987. He was shot in the back 4 times outside a nightclub, a restaurant nightclub / and he had an argument with a man, not a fight, and he was walking to his car to get in his car, and he shot in the back. Now, there were 20 witnesses, and I know who killed my father. But close your eyes, my brother, and tell me what you see.
Nothing.
That's what what they did. Now, nobody, and I wasn't looking for nobody to come forward and give their name or anything, but the Crime Stoppers has been proven to be flawless. And what I'm saying is, they don't want your name and address. They don't want to put you in danger. They just want some information. That's all you need.
That's it. In the community, having spoken, 13 people has been shot at a night party on Tulane, a very popular spot. A lot of youngsters hang out over there.
I see them put a thing on there. I think they're gonna close it, bro.
It's hard for a black establishment to really have something for the young generation coming up because it's always being. There's a lot of violence that goes on with the black establishments at night. Not all of them, but eventually all of them get involved. I think the only one who hasn't been involved in something like this is Club Caribbean, and we know what goes on there.
Brother, let me say this to you. All it takes is one. Let me say that I done seen parties, I done seen birthday parties, weddings. You know what it was? It's the one that's not invited. Somebody that's not invited, that's the one that caused the problem.
That's the ones, yeah. They don't want.
That's the one.
They crash the parties.
You're not invited.
You're not invited to the party. You crash the party.
You're not invited to the wedding reception.
9 times out of 10, it wasn't even worth going to the extent you went to. We got to know how to walk away sometimes from a lot of things. I walked away from a fight when I was a teenager, and I got a lot of flack. And to this day, I still get some flack about walking away from one fight.
Well, look,
fight.
So let me just say this, bro. I could agree with you, and I could side with you, and understand. Doing the right thing, brother, not going to make you feel good, but it's going to be right.
It's going to be the right thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, Brother Mims, I felt good about walking away from that fight because the person I walked away from, first of all, I didn't want to fight him. It wasn't like I was scared of him.
Yeah, I understand.
Didn't want to fight him. And second of all, I felt like, it took a big man to do it because there was a lot of pressure being put on me to say fight, fight, fight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I'm not fighting, dude. I'm not fighting, dude. And I walked away from him. And trust me, I done had plenty of fights. I just want to give a shout out to, the people that's tuning in on the live stream. Mr. Warren Matthews. I believe Brother Mims was talking about the curfew. He agrees with your Brother Mims. Lysandra Rivers. She also agrees with the curfew. And Larry, Love, Boyd, keep up the good work, brothers. Thank you for everyone leaving your comments on the Facebook live stream. Could keep those comments coming and make sure you like and share the live stream so we can get more comments. Y'all keep it lit for us. Just getting back to the curfew, Brother Mims.
Yes.
The curfew, I thought they had one. Don't they have a curfew in the city?
No, it wasn't. It has not been enforced for years, and I thought that was one of the grave mistakes because I was raised, and Terry, I could be your father, I could be your grandfather. I'm 63 years old, but we had to be inside before
the light pole.
The light pole, yeah. You got a butt whipping.
So you was messed up for daylight savings time.
Yeah, that's right, bro.
Cause light poles come on at 5:30.
Mama, yeah, that's right. And look, but if you forgot, your behind was in trouble. Mama didn't accept no excuses, but we didn't have the problems that we had now, bro. And let me just say this to you. They had over 400 shootings. They have had 400 shootings, more, 400 shootings to this date, the first 6 months of this year. And those were broken down to perpetrators and victims. And guess what? There was a number of teenagers that were perpetrators and a number of victims that shouldn't have been where they were because they were too young. Where was the parents?
And that's an excellent question, Brother Mims. For anybody who's calling me right now, DJ Slick, I am live on the air. Let me turn my phone off. I am so sorry for all our listeners out here having to hit my cell phone in this old common ringtone. DJ Slick Daddy. DJ Slick 504 from the live line. If you're listening, call in, give us your opinion. 341-TALK, 504-341-8255 is the number to get involved. We here, I'm Tarek Jones, sitting here with Brother L. Mims, activist.
And welcoming
everyone. We got about another, it's 8:35. We got about another, I'm going to say 20 minutes of the show, so please get your comments in. Please get your calls in. We'd be more than happy to have this conversation. Not the deadliest, but the bloodiest weekend up until this point this year in the city of New Orleans went down this weekend.
And the summertime has just started.
Right around the corner. The babies are getting out of school. The summer camps are in full swing. What are we going to do to keep our children and our families safe in the city of New Orleans? Curfew is a good enforcement. It's already on the books. I thank the mayor for what he's what they call it, lame duck mayor.
Yeah.
Let's not focus on the mayor right now. Let's deal with the.
Let me say something to you.
He lame duck. He out here.
Let me tell you what I wanted the public to know, that you're part of the solution. Now I hear parents, this thing ain't gonna work if we don't get involved. Now what that means is you're gonna have to call. If you see a kid out after a certain time and in your community, and you see them and they don't have parental guidance or whatever, you need to call the police. And it don't work without it. Now there you go back, my brother, when you said about people ratting. We gotta protect our community, because a lot of those youngsters out there and they in illegal activity, or they got somebody who's not of good standings, that's their role model. You follow me?
Exactly, Brother Mims. I follow exactly what you're trying to say. I don't know where we got this stigmatism from in our communities. Well, it's not okay to. I do know where we got it from. This stigmatism that we can police ourselves, we can take care of ourselves, and it comes from all of the brutality, especially the brutality that we seen of late, but all the brutality that wasn't seen. We developed this this mind frame of, we don't work with the police in our communities, we can take care of ourselves. Well, that has proven to be our demise in the community. These police officers are not only Americans, they are our people as well. They're black, white, Hispanics. They're human beings. The chief got up there and spoke and said no one has come out with any information pertaining to the shooting on Tulane.
Well, let me go.
Nobody.
Let me go back, Brother Chair, a little further back. I don't know if you heard about the little 16-year-old beautiful girl was killed 2 years ago.
Body dismembered.
She body dismembered in New Orleans East. They ran over. Gorgeous girl. Now,
beautiful young lady.
Nobody has heard anything. I know the family. Can you imagine what the mother's going through?
That's devastating. As a parent with young kids,
they thought they were running over a dog.
Yeah. I seen people saying stuff like, they hit the body, but they thought it was a dead animal.
Yes.
That is, as a parent, to hear someone saying that about my child, I don't know how I can get up in the morning and function. I don't know how I can carry my life. I pick up the pieces of my life and move on. Everything is at a standstill until I get some type of answers on what happened to my baby.
Yes.
And I can only sympathize for that mother and that family.
That's my worst
We're
nightmare.
praying for you.
Yes.
We hope that anyone who has any type of information speaks out. But it's
somebody got information.
It's like talking to a brick wall in this city, man. And all the other black communities all throughout the United States, it's like talking to a brick wall when it comes to cooperating with the authorities.
Well, after our second break, when we come
time.
back, I'm going to talk about snitching. To my experience, all right?
We're going to let y'all know what's the difference between snitching and cooperation in the community, because there's a big difference. I had this conversation when I was 13 years old.
How does a crawfish or shrimp etouffee sound? What about a piping hot cup of gumbo? Or a catfish platter with soft shell crawfish, catfish, livers, and pickles? And that's just for starters. What about entrees? If this is getting your mouth watering, then you need to come to the Praline Connection. Our down-home Cajun Creole-style restaurant has been providing soul food at affordable prices for over 20 years. And our pralines are delicious. We're a restaurant, a gift shop, and a candy shop, all in one. Bring your friends and enjoy an amazing meal today. Come see us at 542 Finchman Street in New Orleans, or check us out online at www.pralinconnection.com. And be sure to like us on Facebook. You can also give us a call at 504-943-3934.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
This is Remus Bowman. I want to invite you every Monday at 12 o'clock live for You and Your Credit. You can call in, you can ask me questions. Believe me, I've got most of the answers for you. We're going to help you get a good credit score. We're going to open doors for you to have an opportunity to be successful and pay low interest for your automobile, your home, your credit cards, everything that you buy. We're going to put you on a great path to have a successful future. Send me your request for information. I'll be glad to answer your question. Every Monday at 12 o'clock, join me from 12 to 1 Monday afternoon for You and Your Credit, originating from New Orleans Talk Network.
Y'all know me, this is a people person here. big homie here. It's your boy Fred. This Madman, the big fan. Right. Listen, we're your host of the New Orleans Talk Network's Fan View. Real fans talk, real sports. Check us out every Thursday night, 6 p.m.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi.
Good morning.
Welcome back to Talk What You Know on the New Orleans Talk Network. The New Orleans Talk Network is your source for alternative information. I like to think of us as the African American WWL of New Orleans. We have a huge diversity of shows on this network. You're not just going to get one lump sum of one topic. We have a bunch of different styles of shows. We have spiritual shows. We have secular shows. We have financial shows. We have literary shows. We also have sports show and hip-hop show. We also have a brand new literary show starting this Wednesday at 7 to 8 p.m. with Miss Rhonda Lawson. She is an author from the city of New Orleans. Brand new show, Over the Horizons with Rhonda Lawson. Please tune in to that brand new show on the New Orleans Talk Network. We have a call on the line, and we are talking about the crime in New Orleans and also what's going on with the curfew in the city of New Orleans. Caller, are you there?
Yes, good morning. I'm here.
Oh, that sounds like a familiar voice.
Is that Cameron? Cameron Alexander Mims.
That's Brother Mims' son. For those who don't know, all of our new listeners, we have Cameron Mims on the line.
And the kid that was killed at St. Aug, he graduated a year after Cameron, and Cameron's 22 years old, and he's 21. So I feel the family, you know.
Cameron, did you get a chance to see the news this weekend? And if so, what do you think about the young man who was shot down, straight-A student, going to school, and just killed senseless? Are you tired of hearing stuff like this in the city of New Orleans?
You know, growing up in a city like this, I mean, I witnessed, crime firsthand, and to keep hearing the same thing over and over again like this, it's a sad thing. And it's also more sad to say that in the black community, it's just like, it's just become like second nature to a lot of us. It's just like, oh, we hear on the news every day, and it's just like, oh, it's just the same old thing. And I feel as though we as a black community as a whole, not all of us, but some of us, we've just gotten too comfortable about hearing this, and it's just like, oh, it's just whatever now to a lot of them.
It is, Cameron. It doesn't. When I see it, it affects me, but I understand what you're saying. It's like second nature to people. They hear it. They keep moving on. Nothing stops in their lives. They don't pay attention to what's going on. It's just something that's just a part of our community in the city of New Orleans, and we've accepted that for some reason. Don't know why, my brother, but maybe you can shed a little bit of light on it for us because you're in school right now. You're moving with the culture. That's the next generation coming up in a wave in the city. So can you give us some positive feedback on what are you seeing in a generation of people that you hang out with? What are you seeing some of the positive things going on with them?
Well, I talked to a lot of my classmates, and a lot of them do have big goals. A lot of them, they have big goals in their life. They want to do other things. And I talked to a lot of them about the crime in the city, and they said that, they want to make a change. A lot of them are starting, like, their own programs. They're starting small or whatever, like little mentoring programs to different kids. I'm mentoring to a lot of kids, even my own family. My godbrother and my little niece, they're coming up now, and I'm telling you right now, they have a whole different take on a lot of the things that's happening now. I really do see change that's coming up, but for me, it's more so of what are we going to do now instead of waiting for the next generation? What are we trying to do now to prepare them for what's coming up?
Unfortunately, Cameron, I don't think there's much we can do. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, so we got to get with the pups. And the pups, we're gonna have to wait these 5-10 years, and hopefully when those pups become grown, then we taught them all the tricks they need to know to make these changes happen. But I just don't see it happening with the generation we have before us, Cameron. But that is some great insight to what we need to do. And some of the 20-year-old, the 90s babies, because I'm an 80s babies, I'm an early 80s babies. We pretty much getting out the way, but there's a lot of 90s and early 2000 babies, millennials, who are coming up behind us, and I'm sure that we are going to be in great hands with them. And I'm sure that one day that the generation under us will put down the guns because of young men such as yourself that'll be out there on the front lines of trying to make this city a better place. Thank you for the call, Cameron.
I love you, Cameron.
Thank you.
All right. We got another phone call on the line. Captain Black.
Greetings, fellow hostages and hostages.
One writer in the city. If you haven't seen his brother's
Those
writing.
who act like animals should be put in cages.
Yes,
How you doing, Captain Black? It's
I'm
2.0.
good. I'm good. How are you?
The number one hostage that fights
you and
back.
Supermims, our number one crime fighter and mentor.
Yeah.
One of America's greatest unlicensed preachers.
Let's get this ball rolling, Captain Black. That was the bloodiest day in New Orleans over this past weekend. 13 people shot. Community meetings popping up all over District 1. We got the chief of police. Seems like he's very hands-on with the public at this point in relaying the message that it's not the police department. We are trying to build this police department, but the number one problem is we can't get information from the community to help solve these crimes. And if we can't get the information, it doesn't matter if we got 4,000 police officers.
I mean, you've got that on one end, and on the other end, if we're very honest, is we have got to start, deciding, do we need to have public events? And if so, then we have got to start securing these events. And particularly, I'm talking to the parents now, the fathers and mothers out there. If you know your young people are going to an event, and I know a person who remain nameless who takes his adult son to events, not because his son can't take care of himself, but because of the concept of backup.
Yes.
We live in a community where the lethal threat is not commuting in from the suburbs or from a Klan meeting or from, the Republican Party. The lethal threat is coming from oftentimes your neighborhood or neighboring neighborhoods. And let's look at what they target. Graduation parties like this one, second lines, Mother's Day events. So we need to be very clear that just like one end of the community focuses on prevention, mentoring, another end of the community is going to have to focus on protection because a lot of these cats, there's not even enough mind there. You say, if we can get them to change their mind, well, first you have to have a mind. And if you're out here with a mindset that tells you it's okay to threaten people, to shoot people, to rob people, then the black community needs to defend itself against you. It doesn't need to blame history, astrology, meteorology, astronomy. We need to secure ourselves against these people because if these were skinheads doing this, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Wow. And we're not talking about a vigilante style of securing ourselves. We're talking about a vigilant style of securing ourselves. We hear the federal government coming out telling people, citizens, to be aware of certain type of acts that's going on and call this number if you see certain type of suspicious acts.
But you ever notice you rarely hear about black vigilantes? Because let's be very honest. If any of us went out there killing drug dealers and armed robbers, who richly deserve it, by the way, but if somebody did that and he was doing so illegally, that black man would be arrested faster than the black criminals he was humping. Yes, so you ain't got to worry about vigilantism from us. What we're talking about is if your children are at a graduation party, then maybe some of the parents need to get together and stand guard. And if you can legally have a firearm, you may want to consider having that because the people who are going to come at your children.
They should have had security there. And I'm disappointed. And I'm gonna say this: there, Cameron's listening. My son, I love him. He's 22 years old, but there's just some things that he don't even ask me. He don't go. Man, we don't go. So just some places, it may be nice. It may be nice, and people But my son, he don't go to clubs. He don't hang out at uninvited parties or whatever. Even some of the parties that he's been invited. Cameron's been invited to.
And I can tell y'all, as a security person,
Go ahead. That's what I wanted you to talk about.
Yeah, of creating safety. If it's a ghetto event, if they're not paying you like you're a military contractor in Baghdad, where you might be making $1,000 for that night or $500, it's not worth it, because you place yourself in a situation where you will have to stand between not just people being rude, but life-threatening use of force. And you got to ask yourself, is a little bit of money, some cheap club owner or promoter paying you, worth that? And regarding the venue that Brother Mims mentioned, it's coming up that they didn't get a special event permit. It's coming up that they were licensed as a restaurant.
They closed
and not as a meeting hall. So you got all these questions.
They came, served them
arising.
yesterday while I was there, Cap. They served them and closed the building down while we were in the rain doing the visual.
So this happened at the event that went down over the weekend?
Yes.
This happened at this place. They was shut down, of course. And I know in Jefferson Parish, if there's anything that happens within 1,500 yards, I think that's the limit. They take your liquor license from you if that happens in Jefferson Parish. And I feel like it needs to happen in Orleans Parish too. If you cannot
and as
run a clean establishment, why are you running an
establishment? You'll get is that many of your black club owners who know their crowd know if they're held directly responsible.
You know that
violent crime that happens, they're going to be crying about racism and how you don't do this to the white clubs. But let's look at it. When's the last time you had a white nightclub where you had people gunned down by somebody white? This isn't putting anybody on the pedestal. This is just being honest about, here is the reality of what we're facing. Now, as it changes, then your policies can change. But as it stands right now, our urban events have an unreasonably high level of risk to them. And I tell you this as a black person and a safety professional. This is the God's honest truth. You've got some security people who are black who don't work urban events. They've written that off. They're like, look.
Ouch.
Yeah, they're not going to do it because they don't want to be toe tagged, nor do they want to have to put themselves in situations where they have to use lethal force against somebody and be caught up in the legal system for X number of years afterwards.
How many times we have had that conversation, Pap? I've seen people
endless times. I mean, again, and let's be clear about something else too. Reasonable members of the black community, they don't get on TV and give speeches. They don't form organizations about it. They vote with their feet. And certain events they don't go to, and they don't let their children go to.
That's right. That's right.
And it ain't because of the Klan. It's not because of neo-Nazis, but it's because of the street Nazi and the chocolate Klansmen in our communities that for 8 years have had their self-esteem boosted by this mayor, who's always said, just like, look at what he just recently said, we need to change how we are. No, thugs need to change. We don't need to change. The people who went to that party weren't doing anything.
That's right.
The boy who got shot was not doing anything, so they don't need to change. These cats who think they can walk around intimidating and hurting people, and then you have a bunch of protesters who support them if they lose a fight with a policeman or a private citizen, they need to change. Because all these cats are bringing the black community and the greater society is death. That's it.
And Captain Black, I totally agree with you on that last statement you made. That just shows me personally that these people are not understanding what we're really dealing with. To make a boneheaded statement like that, we need to change the way we are. And to reply to it and say, no, thugs need to change the way they are. That just goes to show you
meeting
how
with the
far
white
disconnected these people
that got upset because this happened so near to them.
Yes.
But the people who are dealing with this on a daily basis, who are being menaced by it, who are being threatened by it, Brother Mims has been threatened by black criminals on a routine basis, and nobody can seem to investigate it properly or arrest the people who do so. So
and Cap,
the solution to crime in this city is going to be black people. It can't come from anybody else. It's a majority black city.
I saw
the government teams up with us to stop it, or it will get worse, and then you're going to have the military here.
Yeah, I saw the police officer, the commander of the district, was telling them how they're going to have the patrols and overtime and everything. But I was wondering, when they come to me, I'm a lost cause, huh?
Oh, no. I mean, see, Brother Mims, you got to understand. Police are like military organizations. They follow orders from the top. Well, the top is Mitch Landrieu, and Mitch is saying that, hey, we're going to protect the French Quarter. We ain't going to protect anything else. If you are a law-abiding black citizen like Al Mims who disagrees with the mayor, we're not going to do anything to help you no matter how many threats you have against your life. We have to be honest about the reality we live in, and that is the reality. You know, you got somebody who puts thugs on a pedestal, who gives them endless excuses. And when they run around and kill people, and if you notice, because Mitch can't get reelected, he doesn't show up at these murder scenes in the black community like he used to in his first term.
No, he sure don't, Cap. Good observation.
You know.
Thank you for the call, Captain Black. We're about to get ready to wrap this call up.
And we miss you, bro.
We miss you over here. If your guys,
thank you, Superman.
You guys want to hear more from Captain Black, please go to New Orleans Talk Network YouTube channel and click on.
But we're hostages that we're all fighting back, Cap.
Absolutely.
Captain Black.
You can't be a slave to a black man and then criticize about or complain saying that you don't want to be a slave to any other man.
Captain Black is family here. If you want to watch some more Captain Black, last year, 2016, him and Brother Mims did a show called Hostages That Fight Back for an entire year. If you want to go back and watch some of those shows, they are not dated. The information that Captain Black is talking about is there on those shows. It's on the New Orleans Talk Network YouTube channel. Click on playlist when you get there and find Hostages That Fight Back. There are a bunch of shows dealing with some of the systemic issues, some of the systemic racist issues that we have going on in the city of New Orleans. And Captain Black is almost 99.9% of the time right about some of the things he does talks about. And also, he is a tremendous blogger. Please go and find Captain Black's blog. I'm sorry I don't have the information for his blog, but it is on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Go and you can find the information for Captain Black's blog. Great read, great information, up-to-date information right there from Captain
Thank you,
Black.
Cap. Thank you, Cap.
Just want to give a shout-out to everybody. What's up, Buck, that tuned in to the live stream. Renee Page, what's up? How you doing, my brother? Jason Williams, thank you for watching. Michael Thomas, our great producer on the other side of the curtain over there, making sure things happen. Got the MJ playing in the background. It don't really matter. They don't care about us, you know, so we have to care about us. We have to show ourselves a little bit more TLC in our communities, and we'll make it through the storm. There is light at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs, who that's and who ain't. There's more than just taking care of yourselves. It takes a village to raise these children. So if they're your kids, they're everyone's kids. And then when we start letting the community raise our kids again, then we'll be all right. This is Talk What You Know. Pastor Jones will be back next week. If he's not, I'll be filling in for him. And he better watch out because some people on this live stream saying they want me to come back. They want an encore.
All right, Pastor Jones.
They want an encore. That's our time.
Yes.
We also have today Living by the Word. So everyone who wants to get some of that word, Faith That Works with Jill Samuel comes on today for 11 o'clock. If anyone wants to get that word in and feel that power of content, please tune in at 11 o'clock to the New Orleans Talk Network fan page. We do have Faith That Works with Miss Jill Samuel coming on today. It's a powerful show. That's our time. That's the music. Brother Mims, you got us a prayer?
Thank you, Lord, for everything. Thank you for Captain Black. Thank you for those who are movers and shakers and doers. Prayer is an action in Jesus' name.
Thank you for calling in, Captain Black and Cameron. We'll be back next week. Oh,